What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. I heard a cool tip today on YouTube. It was that if I change the camera angle frequently in my video, it will increase engagement and keep you awake. And I'm holding the camera in my hand, so I gotta do this, like that, or else it won't work. Are you engaged? Are you totally stoked now? Are you dropping all the likes and comments? Well, happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. I guess the first question is, who are you pulling for, man? Are you pulling for the Pats or the Rams? I'm going to give it like 2 seconds, and I'm going to tell you, I could deal with the Pats not winning another Super Bowl. That's just me. I also happen to be a Colts fan. So there's a little bit of an AFC thing going on there where I'm just kind of like over the Pats, man. I'd be cool seeing the Rams win this one. Who are you pulling for? I'm interested. Let's have like a fight with me and my followers, or I get mad at you for liking the Patriots. Okay, cool. Today's topic is about balancing your time. Basically, what should beginner copywriters be focusing their time on? Time management. That is sexy stuff. But I did get the question today, and I was like, this would be a good live topic. I'm going to use this. And the question was, how do you balance gaming every night and copywriting, right? So basically it was like, I get sucked in, I get addicted, and I just play. And he's asking this because on my Instagram, all99Kyle, if someone wants to drop my Instagram handle in there, all99Kyle, that'd be cool. You can follow me on Instagram, and I post like regular stories on there. But on my Instagram, I basically post like what I'm kind of up to during the day, and every night around like 6 or 7, I start playing video games. Right now, I'm playing Resident Evil 2. It's my third playthrough. I beat Leon's campaign, I beat Claire's campaign, now I'm beating Leon's Scenario B campaign. So yeah, I like to play video games, man. So how do you juggle the two? How do you juggle like playing video games, copywriting, or how do you just manage your time? Easy as pie, that's how. So before I begin, because I always forget to do this, one way to save time and know exactly how to write words that really make you rich is just learn straight from my book, Take Their Money, which is available at kylethewriter.com/book. And you can learn basically exactly how to tickle the emotions that make people buy with copywriting. All right, cool. So someone also said to me, actually this morning, I got this question basically twice today. So I was like, this would be a great idea. Someone said, I want to manage my time before it manages me. Like, what should I do? How do I balance the video games? Okay, so how do I balance video games? Well, basically, it comes down to having like a routine, a regular routine, and also having like a set of priorities. So essentially, the way I handle it, like the way I'm able to play like sometimes it's like 1 or 2 hours of video games a day, is the video games always come last, okay? So this is going to set you up, this is kind of like I'm working backwards. We're going to talk about like exactly what you should be doing as a copywriter too, but so basically I know that I can't start playing video games in the middle of the day. I know I can't like take a break and start playing video games, and I know this because I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole. Like the guy said, who messaged me today, he's like, I get addicted, I just start playing and I don't stop. It's the same with everybody, dude. It's very tempting just to get like sucked down a rabbit hole of something really easy and passive and fun. So, what should you be focusing your time on? And I'm taking this straight from some of the top copywriters I've ever worked beside, some of the highest money-making dudes I've ever met. And I started implementing it, and it made a difference for me. So what I do is I wake up, and the first thing on my to-do list is the hardest thing to tackle. Okay, and there's scientific backing for this, right? So if you've ever read, like, one of the books that I love is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He talks about these studies that basically measure willpower throughout the day. And willpower operates like a battery. It slowly, like, discharges over the day. And you eventually deplete all of it, and that's kind of it. You're out of willpower. So the argument can be made, and for I already can hear it, like the comments coming through, that's not 100% accurate, like this, and I do that. Dude, just work with me here. I can already tell, like, I've already gotten, like, my guards up because of, like, negative comments. Nitpicking is crazy. So anyway, so just assume, your willpower is like a battery gauge. It steadily depletes over the day, and whenever you reach the end of it, you're, like, kind of done, right? So at the morning, when you first wake up, you have your maximum willpower gauge, like your battery is full, you're ready to take on the day. And one of the mistakes I think people make is they warm up to work. Like, they'll handle this, they'll handle that, they'll get around to it. And basically what that is the resistance. That's procrastination. The resistance is a term I got from The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Love that book too, man. These books like changed the way I looked at the world. So what you do is you need to prioritize and stack your projects, whatever you've got to work on for that day. And I'll tell you, well, I got other tips too. So one tip, right? One tip. Start the day with the hardest task. The hardest thing to write, the most tedious thing, the boringest thing. Get it knocked out. Now, the next tip would be time blocking. Okay, and time blocking is not sexy either. However, it is cool when you call it deep work, which is what I like to call it, and I got that from Cal Newport and his book Deep Work. So essentially, you're going to start the day with like your hardest stuff. For me, I try to like answer comments or emails or something really quick early in the day, and then immediately begin my first hour of deep work. Have a cup of coffee, I'm chilled out, I'm ready to go into deep work mode. Now, with the time blocking / deep work methodology, it is critical that you respect this time. Like, this time is sacred time, dude. When it comes time to begin that, I'm talking a 1 hour block. You're going to work for 1 hour. Can you do it? 1 little hour. And I want you to treat this as religious, as sacred a time as you can humanly muster. I'm talking like, for me, airplane mode my phone goes into airplane mode. I turn on, I put the headphones in the ear. I can't hear anything. I put on some music that helps me kind of like focus. Whatever that might be for you, you do that. And I am not allowed, like, I can't open the web browser and go check Facebook. Can't answer this, can't answer that. Can't bounce around at all. Like, for that 1 hour, I've got my task. Like, that's my task for that hour, and that is all I am going to do. Now, for copywriters, you generally have, let's say, 2 or 3 main tasks that you're kind of juggling or something like that. And honestly, the rest of it is what we call shallow work. Deep work, so you gotta prioritize your deep work with work that moves the needle in your career. That could be, if you're a freelancer, it could be getting clients, right? You've got to get clients if you want to make money and you don't have like an employer or you're not in-house or something like that. So for 1 hour, you straight up, you put in the headphones, you put your phone on airplane mode, and you crank out whatever sort of pitching, marketing, whatever you got to do for that whole hour, and you do nothing else, dude. Treat that time as sacred, and it will blow your mind. It will shatter your whole belief in the world as you know it. How much you'll get done in 1 hour when you seriously dedicate that entire hour to that activity. I love an hour because you will be amazed at what you can accomplish in 60 minutes. And it's not too much that you actually burn out and you just want to quit and you're tired of it. Some people want to grind for 8 hours. Dude, if you would turn everything off and just focus for 60 minutes, you would blow your own mind at how much you can accomplish. So now the question becomes, what's deep work? What's shallow work? All right? So I'll say this too. I generally do the deep work for an hour, and then I return to shallow work. And then I go to the gym, and then I come back and return to shallow work. And then I do deep work for an hour. Generally, I do a little over 2 hours of deep work every day. My deep work, usually my timer expires, and then I kind of just finish what I'm doing. So I go a little bit over an hour, right? So a little over like 2 hours 15, 2 hours 20 minutes a day. That's really all I do. And the rest of it's shallow work, okay? So shallow work is anything that you could train a college graduate, like semi-intelligent person to do in a couple weeks or months. Deep work is your personal, professional expertise, and it needs to move the needle in your career. You need to pick like 1 or 2, what do you want to call it? Principles or protocols or qualifications for deep work. For me, what moves the needle for me? Only 2 things, right? And that is intense, deep research on my topic, whatever I'm writing a sales letter on. And if I already have all of my research, the next thing is the writing of the paper itself, writing of the sales letter, the writing. So for me, I try my hardest to dedicate 100% of my deep work time to either research or creating the actual thing with the research that I did. So that can be for anything. And I don't even count these lives as deep work. Like, they're just kind of required every day. I have to go live for 10 to 30 minutes, something like that. And I try to do it around the same time. It's like when I finish the gym before I go into my second hour of deep work. So today, I'm actually on a research day. I plan to spend like every minute of my deep work today doing research. And this is actually for building my website, my business, helping sell my book, Take Their Money, available at kylethewriter.com/book. If you want to learn how to write words that really make you rich, you can check out that book. But that's it, man. Research and writing. Those are the things that I do. Those are my personal expertise that move the needle in my career. They help me sell stuff. They put money in my pockets. Answering emails, going on Slack and asking for advice. I'll say another thing. There's the most surreptitious, insidious, terrible thing that you can do that makes you think you're being productive is asking for advice or support. That's also something from The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Support is like the most insidious form of resistance, where you think you're doing good stuff, where you think you're being productive, but really what you're doing is procrastinating and not taking imperfect action. You're just trying to get other people to decide for you, or you're just being you're loitering, dude. Support needs to be treat support with a lot of skepticism. Don't spend a lot of time searching for support. Spend a lot of time taking action. When you find yourself looking for support, you need to question that. Seriously look at it objectively. Do I really need this permission from some random on Facebook right now? Or am I stalling? Am I giving in to my procrastination right now? Also, man, do not ever do anything like that when you're in the middle of your hour of deep work. So for me, like I say, I only do 2. And some days I'll do 3 if necessary. But this is how I do the slow and steady, consistent grind. That's how I'm able to do content every day. That's how I'm able to consistently write and research. That's how I'm able to play video games every day. Because I play the long game. I don't do that stupid, I'm going to hustle for 18 hours today, burn out tomorrow, and then I give up by 3 days later, right? So when it comes to time management, decide what it is that you want to label your deep work. For me, it's research and writing. That's what I'm going to spend 2 hours a day. I'm talking today's Super Bowl Sunday, I'm putting in my 2 hours. That's all there is to it, dude. 2 hours a day my way to success. And it is those little efforts every single day that continue to elevate my game. I don't want to say no days off, but basically no days off. Because what is it, 2 hours? Anyone can kind of drum up 2 hours on a Sunday, even on Super Bowl Sunday, dude. Who are you rooting for, Pats or Rams? I want to know. Okay, let's see. I want to talk about one other thing about warming up the day with some YouTube. Okay, so the day is definitely about momentum. This is something I wanted to hit on because this is something I definitely struggled with, and I actually would say I suffered from. There was a solid week or two, and this is kind of where, usually when I see myself in the middle of a rut or having a problem, I start reading books on that problem. And okay, what's my rut? Why is this happening to me? The reason I picked up deep work is because of this rut I was in with YouTube, where I would wake up and I'd have a hard project or something like that that I had to get done, and I didn't really want to do it. Wasn't motivated. It was hard, right? So what I do is I go, okay, I'm just going to watch a little bit of YouTube and kind of get my brain awake, and then I'm going to start writing. Bullshit. All I was doing was procrastinating. And what would happen is the momentum I began on YouTube at the beginning of the day, it was self-sustaining. Next thing I knew, I'd be 3 hours into YouTube. It would be time for lunch. I'll come back and I'll work later. And I saw this happen for a week or two straight, where I was wow, I haven't done anything. I'm continually procrastinating. I need to get a handle on this. I picked up deep work. I bought into that methodology, and I'll tell you, dude, it has been a game changer for me. It's been a serious, serious difference maker. So ask yourself, what moves the needle? What is your deep work? Dedicate 2 hours a day, dude. I'm asking for 2 little hours a day, but I'm talking airplane mode. Nobody's allowed to talk to you. You have your earphones in, and you're not allowed to open other browsers or anything like that. Come back to me in 2 weeks. Do that for 2 weeks. I'm talking 7 days a week. Do it for 2 weeks and tell me how it works. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy and be I'm going to do it for 4. Do it for 2. If you still got energy, let it carry over, right? Go a couple minutes over, whatever. But if you let yourself have that 2 hours and you say, I did it, good. And you kind of relax. You can go play video games at the end of the night, You can go do whatever you want to do. And it'll be so much more enjoyable to return to those 2 hours. You'll be hungry to get back to them. You'll be excited because they're so easy, and you left so much undone that you have to finish. You're going to be you're going to be biting to get to it. And that's a completely different game whenever you show up and you're excited and jazzed up and you're fired up, dude. So I I don't like the word balance. Personally, I'm not a fan of balance, but it is balance, right? It's a weird sort of balance, right? Just go for those 2 hours for 2 weeks, and let's see, forgot anything else. And then come back to me in 2 weeks and tell me how that worked for you, dude. I'm seriously a believer, and I think you can do like 3 or 4. I think you could step it up. Technically, when I do these lives, I'm also including a third hour, because these lives take like 10 to 15 minutes, and I gotta type descriptions, type titles, and I gotta move it from Facebook to YouTube. Honestly, it eats up like 45 minutes to an hour anyway, on accident. I don't know where the hell the time goes, it just disappears. But yeah, so that's that. Let's see if I got any more notes. If you got questions or anything, feel free to drop it. Do the hardest thing first. There's willpower studies about a draining battery. I mentioned that, right? Okay, I think I've covered everything, right? How do you balance gaming and copywriting? Easy as pie. And if you want to learn how to write words, if you want to know exactly how to write the words that really make you rich, check out my book, Take Their Money. And it's available at kylethewriter.com/book. That's all I've got for you today, Copy Squad. And I really think this is a critical, lesson. Game-changing, it changed a lot for me, because I was the same. I was spinning my wheels, I was procrastinating, and I think a lot of the problem was I was prioritizing shallow work. I was considering answering that email important. I was considering being available on Slack chat all day, necessary. No, no, and no. 2 hours, radio silence. I call it going dark. If anyone's texting me, I say, hey man, going dark. They understand exactly what that means. I'll see you in an hour. It's like, hey, sorry to stop this conversation cold, but I gotta go dark right now. And that's it. I'm gone. I'll be back in an hour. I'll answer whatever you got for me. So that's my lesson, time management for beginning copywriters. This will work for veterans alike, man. It was, like I say, total game changer for me. Hope you enjoyed this video, Copy Squad. Smash that like button. Share it with someone who's a bad procrastinator who could use these tips. And one other thing I think I'd say is, oh, that's right. If you want to learn how to write the words that really make you rich, check out my book, Take Their Money. It's at kylethewriter.com/book. Peace out, Copy Squad.